Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike from M&R Automotive. Today we have a 2024 and up Toyota Tacoma, and we installed the dual 12-inch Pro Series light bar kit. We're going to remove this plastic trim piece on top of the radiator support, as well as this plastic trim piece on the intake. This one is held by 8 push pins. This one is 4. The way you remove these push pins is actually by pressing down on them. So when you press down from the top down, it unclips, and then you can just get it out. So these 8 have been removed, so I can lift up and put this away. All right, so now the one with the intake tube. There's 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. With 4 of them removed, we can go ahead and lift this up. On the passenger side, there's 3 harnesses, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to disconnect them. I'm going to squeeze the top and pull them apart. That's 1. And this one, squeeze and pull. And the third one's on the bottom, squeeze and pull. So now we can remove the 3 10mm bolts that are holding the grille from the top. Driver's side wheel well, we're going to remove 3 10mm bolts. There's 1 on the bottom, 1 here, and if you feel it, there's 1 vertical. So now we see these 2 clips here. They have slots and they're in vertical position now, which means they're locked. We're going to move them from vertical to horizontal. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver just to kind of unlock them and bring them out. Those are 2 pins. We can peel back the inner fender and separate it. There's a tab on the bottom. I have my index finger on it. If you push on it, there's a little unlock, so that way when you unlock it, you can push it out. So there's a little tab that you're trying to push towards the back of the truck. So I'm going to reach in here, press on it, and kind of take it out. With the bottom clip unlocked, you can go ahead and pull on it, and it just comes off. So now there's a bolt here that we have to remove. It's a Phillips. So now we got to pull in the corner to disconnect the fender from the bumper. Now we can do the same thing on the passenger side. So on the passenger side, we're going to do the same thing. 3 10mm screws. So align these clips horizontally, and we can take these out. Now we can peel back the inner liner. So I'm going to find the clip on the bottom. I'm going to press towards the back of the truck to unlock it. And now we can just pull on it and everything comes off. And just like the driver's side, there's a little screw here, Phillips screw, that we're going to remove. I'm going to pull on this side so that way it unclips. We're going to remove this air dam. There's 5 10mm bolts in the front and then 2 on each side. There's 4 more 10mm bolts. 1 of them is under the fender liner in the corner. There's 1 black one right here. Pull on the front grille. Let's review what you get with the dual 12-inch Pro kit. You get 2 light bars, 4 brackets, you get the mounting hardware, and you get an extension wire. Alright, so the first thing I want to do, I want to actually put the brackets onto the lights. I'm going to put the lights on their face, and I'm going to also make sure that the wire is towards the center because that's where we're going to fuse it for power. It's easier to assemble the lights with the brackets on a workbench, and then we'll install it into the grill. Alright, so we're going to start with the passenger light bar first. We're going to grab our passenger side brackets. You're going to get a longer bracket and a shorter bracket. When installing it onto the light bar, the tabs are going to be facing towards the back of the light bar. So the passenger longer bracket from the outside, we're going to attach it like this with supplied hardware. I'm using an Allen tool to tighten these side bolts. And notice that the tab is facing towards the back of the light when I'm installing it. All right, so we got the outer bracket. Now let's install the inner bracket. So now I'm going to grab the smaller bracket. That's going to be our inner. And we're going to attach it to the side of the light bar where the wire comes out. On the bracket, there's an oval. That's the one we're going to rethread using factory hardware on the bumper. And there is a slot. That's the one we're going to use to attach to the light bar. So I'm going to use supplied hardware to attach this bracket to our light bar. Okay, I'm going to tighten these bolts, but I'm not going to tighten them all the way because we're still going to align the height of the light bar when it's on the bumper. So now I'm going to do the same thing for the driver's side light bar. I'm going to grab the larger bracket. It's going to go on the outside. Once again, the tab that connects to the light bar is going to be facing towards the back of the light bar. I'm not tightening them all the way because we're going to still align the light bars when they're on the bumper. So I'll tighten them a little bit, but we'll still have adjustability. So that's the outside bracket. Now I'm going to grab the inside bracket. It's a smaller one. Once again, the oval is going to be for the bumper, and then the slot is going to be for the light bar. And we're going to use supplied hardware to attach the bracket to the light bar. Once again, I'll tighten it, but I won't tighten it all the way. All right, this is good. So let's go ahead and install these light bars onto the bumper. I'm going to remove this active shutter system so that way it's easier and more accessible to the bolts we're going to be using. And it's 6 10mm bolts. You can just lift up on the shutter system and put it to the side. So the 4 screws and bolts that we're going to use 2 bolts here. These are 10mm. And we're going to use 2 Phillips screws here. So I'm going to remove all 4 of them. I'm going to take out these 2 10mm. And we're going to be reusing these same screws and bolts when installing our light bar. So I'm going to start with the driver's side first. I'm going to reinstall the 10mm. And now we're going to reinstall the Phillips screw on the outside. We're going to do the same thing on the passenger side. Use a supplied 10mm bolt that we removed. And the Phillips screw on the outside. Let's go ahead and tighten these. Perfect. So now let's align our light bars so that way they are straight. So when I'm leveling the light bar, there's a horizontal slot here right below the light bar. You can just make sure that it follows that same line, and it's going to be nice and straight on the bumper. And you tighten the bolts on the sides when you're happy with it. So on the passenger side, I see it's a little bit slanted, so I'm going to loosen these a little bit, and I'm going to even it out. I readjusted the light bar, and now we're tightening the side bolts. We're finished installing the light bars. Now we're going to fuse the wires together and get them into the engine bay using the supplied extension wire. So on the 2 light bars, they have a red wire, a white wire, and a black wire. So I'm going to take 2 whites. So with the 2 whites, I'm going to fuse them together and put a crimp on it. I like to double crimp all my crimps so that way it's nice and snug. When you pull on it, it doesn't come loose. Same thing, we're going to take 2 reds, we're going to fuse them together. And 2 black wires. With your wire extensions, you get the same color, so we're just going to pair up the crimps to the corresponding colors of the wiring. All right, so first one, I'm going to do the white wire. It's going to be white to white. And then second one, we're going to do the red. And same thing with the black. Perfect. So we have the 2 reds into the red, the 2 blacks into the black, and 2 whites into the white. So now I'm going to apply heat to these. These are heat shrink connectors, so they're going to shrivel up and become watertight. After the wires are heat shrunk, I'm going to put electrical tape over them. That's just going to give them an extra layer of protection. So the wiring is long enough in order for you to get it into the engine bay. Whether you need the power source on the driver or passenger side, that's where you can choose now. For our install, we're going to run it on the passenger side, so I can actually zip tie my wiring to this factory harness, and it's going to come out right next to the headlight. We're going to reinstall the shutters back on and get the plug out. And these are the 10mm bolts that we removed in the previous step to take the shutters off. All right, so now we're tightening these bolts. And I do want to show you that the wiring of our light bar is not interfering with the active shutter system, because you can still open and close the louvers without any interference. Let me show you how the setup looks before we install it back on the truck. So right above the factory fog lights, this is the area that we filled up, and it's perfectly aligned with the front end. Reinstall the front end following the reverse order of how we disassembled it in the first place. So we have the light bar wire extension in the engine bay, and it's time for wiring. Your light bar comes with 3 wires. It has a black wire, which is the ground. It has the red wire, which is the positive for the main function, powerful white light. And it has a white wire, which is the amber DRL. We're going to have to provide power to 2 of these wires. The red and the white, and the black gets grounded. If your truck is equipped with factory auxiliary switches, you would use up 2 switches in order to provide 2 separate power sources. If your vehicle is not equipped with factory auxiliary switches, such as the one we're working on now, you can purchase the M&R wireless controller. It's super easy to install. You just connect it to the battery, connect your lights to it. You have a wireless keypad inside the vehicle that turns these channels on and off. It makes your installation super easy. So let me show you what you get with a wireless 2.0 kit. 2 power cables, a ground cable, the ACC wire, some terminal contacts and mounting hardware, M&R remote, 100 amp fuse, the actual module, mounting zip ties. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, let's open up the module. So we're gonna take out these 4 Allen screws. So now we can take off the cover. Looking at this module, you have a couple things you wanna notice. There's a positive terminal, there is a negative terminal. You have 8 different circuits, and they're all labeled here with auxiliary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with appropriate amp fuses, and you also get 3 trigger wires. If you choose to use the ACC wire, you would plug it in onto the first terminal here. ACC, all it does is when you get ignition, it'll turn on, it'll wake up the unit if it goes into sleep mode. We actually don't use it. The unit wakes up on its own if it feels your battery is fully charged. So the ACC wire, this one's optional. So let me show you how to assemble the fuse, and we're going to connect that to the positive terminal. So you have 2 terminals. You have one that goes towards the battery, you have one that goes towards the module, and there's a brake button in here. So if you press this button, it actually disengages power going through it. So I like to actually reset it and then turn it on towards the end of our install. So reset, and let's connect the 2 power terminals. So one of them is labeled BAT. That's going to be the one that goes towards the battery. So I'm going to take one of the power cables. I'm going to slide it under this nut, and I'm going to tighten it. So the side that says BAT here, that's going to go towards the battery. On the second side, it says AUX, load. So this is the side that you want towards your module. So same thing. I'm going to loosen it. I'm going to slide the terminal underneath the nut, and I'm going to tighten it. So the side where it says load, we're going to connect this terminal onto the positive terminal of the module. So I'm going to slide it underneath. The main reason you want to slide it underneath here is because there's going to be a cover on top. We're going to loosen the BAT positive terminal, and we're going to put this wire with a fork under this bolt. So now I'm going to tighten it. So now we have a power to the cable. This end is going to be connected to the positive terminal of the battery. We're going to do the same thing with a ground, which is the thin wire. And this ground only operates the module, so you cannot connect other grounds to it like your light bar accessories. We're going to take this, slide it under as well. We're going to loosen this terminal, and we're going to tighten it. So now we have assembled a power, ground, and an inline fuse. Just a reminder, after you have everything connected to the battery, positive and negative terminal, unless you put the switch in line, there's not going to be any power going through it. So this is the off position, and this is the on position. So now we can go ahead and install this on the truck. So now we're in the engine bay, and this leaves us with 2 wires, a positive and a negative. So we're going to connect the positive first to the battery. This is the positive end of the battery. I'm going to loosen this nut. I'm going to slide our terminal underneath it, and I'm going to secure it. So we tighten that. We'll do the same thing on the ground, which is the negative terminal. When you connect the positive and the ground of the module, there is a green light in the corner that's going to light up, and this shows you that the module is connected properly. So now we can connect our light bars directly to the module. Alright, so now that I've isolated 2 of the power wires, I'm going to slide them in from the bottom of the panel. There's an opening here, and the main reason why I want to do it from the bottom is because there's going to be a cover on top, so this is going to be the only access. And I'm going to use 2 different switches. So I'm going to install the red wire, which is the main function, on switch number 1. And I'm going to install the white wire, which is the back low. I'm going to install it on switch number 5. Alright, so that leaves us with a black cable. For the black cable, we just have to ground it, and we can use the negative terminal on the battery. I'm just going to put an eyelet on it and crimp it. And we're going to loosen this nut, slide this onto the terminal, and secure it. I want to make sure we have a nice contact for both of these grounds and that the green light is still on. So in terms of securing the module, there's 2 holes here, and you can see them from the back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drill 2 small holes on top of the fuse box cover, and we're going to secure it with bolts going through it. And another option, if you don't want to secure it to the top of the fuse box cover, you could also use supplied zip ties. There's ears on the sides, and you can secure it to the battery tray bracket. Alright, so let's see how it looks. With one button, you have the amber DRL, and with another button, you have the powerful white light. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got the confidence that you need to install this product yourself. I know you guys are going to absolutely love it. Please check out our night output video where we show you exactly how much additional light you're going to get with this product.